What is up, everybody? It's Animac here for AnimeUproar, and today I will be breaking down the latest mind-blowing twists and turns in the Boku no Hero story, including the huge hero attack, Dr. Ujiko's epic troll, and the sheer awesomeness of the glorious bunny queen herself, the number 5 pro hero, Miruko. Several major Boku no Hero theories about quirks and the nomu have just been confirmed, and this current arc is shaping up to be one of the best ever. There is a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. If you enjoyed the Boku no Hero content right here on the channel and you want us to keep it going, please leave a like to let me know. And in case you're new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. A big thank you to all of our AnimeUproar patrons who make videos like this one possible. YouTube is getting more unreliable by the day, and our patrons really help us keep the content going. For example, thanks to our patrons, we're now able to pay editors to help us put out more videos, including my boy Kor, who is the editor for this video. Definitely check Kor out, he makes quality anime content, link in the description. I'll talk more about Patreon at the end of the video, but until then, please be warned that this video will contain MHA manga spoilers. We are dealing with the latest developments in the Boku no Hero story, so please proceed with caution. You have been warned. The action picks up right where the last chapter left off, with the massive hero operation aimed at taking out two villain strongholds at the same time: Deku Hospital and the Paranormal Liberation Front Mansion, two locations which are approximately 80 kilometers apart. At the hospital, after being confronted by Endeavor and the other heroes, the Dr. Ujiko attempts to run away, but he is brought down by Aizawa's cloth tentacles. However, as the Doctor falls and as Aizawa uses his quirk to erase the Doctor's quirk, the Doctor appears to age very rapidly until he suddenly looks much older than he used to. Endeavor and Aizawa conclude that the quirk database must be wrong. Ujiko must have been using some type of quirk after all, and this quirk was making him younger. This means that Ujiko is actually a lot older than he appears to be, and this also means that he has been around and doing his thing in the shadows for a very long time. Tsukauchi says that this same quirk that the Doctor was using may be the key behind All for One's longevity. As we know, All for One has been alive for many generations, and for a long time the heroes have suspected that the reason he was able to live for so long was that he has some sort of extremely rare longevity quirk. It appears that both the Doctor and All for One have been using this same rare quirk, although it is unknown whether this quirk was stolen from someone else or whether it was manufactured by the Doctor himself. This is a major revelation. This means that the Doctor could have an entirely different origin story than we could have possibly imagined, because we had assumed that he was much younger. If he has lived for generations, it is possible that Ujiko's original identity was someone else entirely, and it is possible that he has been with All for One since the very beginning. Also, since it would have been highly suspicious if people close to Ujiko realized that he wasn't aging normally, it is quite possible that this Ujiko assumed many different identities over the past several generations. And so this Doctor identity may just be his latest one. After this huge new piece of information, I am very curious to learn the true origins of Ujiko. Who was he originally? How did he meet All for One? And what was he doing before he assumed his current identity as a medical expert and philanthropist? Present Mike then grabs the fragile, aged Ujiko and demands to know why the Doctor is using such an incredible power for evil. If Ujiko discovered a way to make people age slower and live longer, he could use that discovery to do so much good in the world. He could become a medical hero and a living legend, but instead he chose to use his power to help villains and conduct human experiments. This is a great point, and it makes me even more curious to find out more about Ujiko's origins. Some of the employees at the hospital try to jump to the Doctor's defense, and they ask the heroes to back down. But Endeavor tells them to step back. Soon, every civilian is evacuated from the hospital as the heroes are preparing for a deadly fight against the nomu, and as we shall see, they're not wrong. Then we see new best girl and top tier waifu Miruko using her incredible rabbit-like speed and agility to infiltrate the morgue, the only place in the hospital from which the secret section is accessible. Ujiko calls out for the heroes to release him, But that word release seems to be the command that all the nomu were waiting for in order to activate. Dozens of nomu suddenly start moving within the hospital. Everything from regular nomu to massive beast-like black nomu, who are of course the more powerful nomu variety. In fact, all the nomu suddenly break through the hospital walls and ceiling, and as Endeavor, Aizawa, and Present Mike brace for impact, Ujiko is pierced by one of the nomu's drills. Ujiko laughs as he reveals that he was just one of Twice's clones, and he then simply dissolves into that strange mud-like substance that all of Twice's clones turn into once they have sustained a significant amount of damage. If you've seen my video on the previous chapter, then you know that I said that I believe that the villains have more tricks up their sleeve. I simply did not believe that this hero operation would go so smoothly and that the Doctor would allow himself to be captured so easily. To be honest, I did not think of the possibility that the Doctor could actually be a Twice clone. But I remember that a few of you guys down in the comments of my video suggested that very option, so great job guys, you were right, you called it. We are then taken into the secret section of the hospital where the real Doctor, presumably the real Doctor, is preoccupied with Shigaraki's procedure. Ujiko considers Shigaraki to be his masterpiece, so we can assume that Shigaraki's new form is going to be more powerful than any of the nomu that Ujiko created so far, which is in itself an amazing and terrifying concept. It is then revealed that Ujiko has indeed been copying quirks and then collecting them in little jars here at the hospital. Back when the high-end nomu named Hood first appeared like a year and a half ago, I theorized that Ujiko had cloned Muscular's quirk and then given it to Hood. And it turns out that this theory about cloning or copying quirks was indeed correct. This is important because it means that Ujiko doesn't need to use All for One to actually steal a quirk in order to use it. He can just copy the quirk, which allows the original user to keep using it while also allowing Ujiko to give that same quirk to various nomu if he chooses. The seemingly real Doctor is thinking about how he doesn't want to abandon this hospital because of all the hard work that is here. The copied quirks, the various high-end nomu, all of the long hours that he put in with All for One, it is all here. However, the Doctor doesn't have much of a choice because the incredible Miruko effortlessly destroys dozens of regular nomu as she advances on the Doctor's secret lair. Ujiko realizes that someone is coming and he attempts to get the little nomu, Johnny, to teleport him and Shigaraki away from the hospital. But before Ujiko can reach Johnny, Miruko bursts through the wall, smashing the jarred quirks in the process, and she also crushes poor Johnny under the rubble. Damn. I kinda like that little guy. The chapter ends as a fierce and stunning Miruko asks Ujiko if he is the real deal. And Ujiko screams and I can only assume also pees his pants in this moment. First of all, wow, Miruko. Wow. We knew that she was the number 5 pro hero, but until now I did not realize that she was also in the top 5 waifus in Boku no Hero. Not only is she beautiful, but she is incredibly badass, and as Spike Spiegel says, I love a woman that can kick my ass. Okay, back to the story and the true implications of what just happened. This chapter ends very similarly to the previous chapter, with the Doctor, or at least whom we believe to be the Doctor, scared out of his mind as a top tier pro hero confronts him face to face. But in this chapter we saw that the Ujiko from upstairs in the hospital was a clone. So could it be possible that this other Ujiko is also a clone? Well, the fact that Ujiko thought to use a clone in the first place suggests that he was expecting that something was about to happen. Back in chapter 257, it was revealed that the Doctor's public appearances at the hospital were rare. One of the nurses was actually surprised to see him. So it's not like Ujiko has been regularly using this clone to make the hospital staff think that he is doing legitimate medical work while he's actually downstairs experimenting on Shigaraki. Since his appearances are rare, we know that he doesn't use clones on a regular basis. So then the question is, why use a clone now? Why today? Like I said in my previous videos, it is possible that the villains knew that something was coming because they suspected Hawks of being a spy. It's also possible that the Oboro hospital hint was not accidental, but rather a deliberate clue given to the heroes by the villains in order to lure them into a trap. So, is it possible that this second Ujiko is also a clone, and that the hero trap has only been deepening as they advance further into the hospital? There are some factors that seem to go against this interpretation, including the fact that Ujiko's secret lab was just trashed, his quirk jars broken, Johnny was crushed, and even his masterpiece, Shigaraki, is now in danger as he appears to be defenseless inside one of the tubes. Surely the doctor wouldn't willingly put his entire life's work in danger if he could avoid it. So if he was really setting a trap, he could have done it literally anywhere else. But again, if the doctor didn't see anything coming, why was the clone used on this specific day? Could it be that the second Ujiko is also a clone, and that even Shigaraki inside the tube is a fake as well? Twice can only create up to 2 clones at a time, but now that he is able to clone himself again, his clones can also create 2 clones each, so having more than 2 clones inside the hospital is absolutely possible. I know, I feel like I'm turning into Twice here. I don't know who is real and who is a clone anymore, and now I'm thinking that everyone could be a clone, even poor little Johnny. It could be that all of this is a really elaborate trap orchestrated by the villains, or it could be that the villains didn't see this coming. But perhaps Shigaraki has already gotten strong enough to wreck the heroes even if he doesn't finish the entire procedure. So even if the lab is destroyed and Shigaraki's power-up is halted, he might still be able to emerge from the tube and ruin the hero's day. And of course, we still haven't seen the assault on the Paranormal Liberation Front mansion, so who knows what will happen there. One thing is for sure, I am absolutely loving this current war arc in Boku no Hero, and I think it's just going to keep getting better and better. Seriously, this has been thrilling and full of unexpected twists, and Miruko is an absolute bunny queen. I'm actually thinking of starting an official Miruko fan club or something. Hit me up on Twitter at AnimeUproar if you want to join my Miruko rabbit cult. Oh, and they better not kill Miruko off or something like that now that she's alone in the doctor's lab. I would be extremely pissed if that happens. Also, I am still expecting an all-for-one prison break to occur at some point during this war arc. My initial thinking was that this entire operation could be a trap designed by the villains to lure the hero's attention away from Tartarus prison. I've actually been saying for years that All For One is planning a prison break and that he is going to use Kurogiri's quirk, Ragdoll's quirk, and a bunch of other quirks to escape from Tartarus. I'm not sure if this will happen now or later on, but I'm still fully expecting it to happen. Overall, we learned a lot of very interesting information in this chapter. We learned that Ujiko is actually a lot older than he appears, and that he is using a quirk that appears to make him younger. Who knows who this guy really was before he adopted the public persona of a doctor and philanthropist. But I'm very interested in learning more about him. We also got confirmation that yes, Ujiko and All For One are able to copy quirks and store them while still allowing the original user to keep using the quirk. This means that theoretically, Ujiko and All For One may have every villain's quirk at their disposal and have just been waiting to infuse the high-end Nomu with all these insane quirks. There are just so many options and possibilities with that idea alone. I really want the next chapters to come sooner, like right now. Finally, you might have heard that the creator of MHA, Kohei Horikoshi, received criticism for his choice of name for Ujiko. His real name, or alleged real name, which appeared in the previous chapter. The criticism came from the fact that one of the words used could be interpreted as a reference to Japanese war crimes during World War II, an issue that is still very sensitive in China and Korea in particular. Horikoshi apologized for this, and he said that he would change the name going forward. He also said that the similarity was purely coincidental. He was using the word as a reference to Ujiko's physical appearance, not to World War II. And from what I know about Japanese, I do believe that certain words can have multiple meanings depending on the context. Obviously, I don't know Horikoshi personally and I can't read his mind, but I definitely don't think that he would deliberately try to offend people in China, Korea, or anywhere else. Horikoshi knows how popular Boku no Hero has become worldwide, and there is no incentive for him to alienate his Chinese and Korean fans on purpose. It's not like Horikoshi is some kind of Japanese imperialist. If anything, Boku no Hero is a series that relies a lot more on Western culture and Western hero tropes than most anime and manga. If Horikoshi really was some sort of Japanese cultural imperialist, then why would he rely so heavily on Western culture and Western sources instead of focusing entirely on Japan's rich cultural heritage? It just doesn't make sense to me, and I definitely give Horikoshi the benefit of the doubt on this one. And with that said, please let me know what you thought about these latest developments in the story. Is the real Ujiko in real trouble, or are things again not quite as they seem? Did the heroes really get one over on the villains, or were the villains expecting the heroes all along? Please share your takes down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like it, please leave a like to let me know. And if you happen to be new to AnimeUproar, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. Please follow me on Twitter and or Instagram at AnimeUproar if you want to join my Miruko fan club. I want to give a big thank you to all of our AnimeUproar patrons who support our content and make these videos possible. First up, let me thank our The One tier patrons, the ones who rise above all other clans, including Ingrata, Alolanada, Makota-kun, The World, Steelers, The School Bus, and Tyson Quirino. I also can't forget our awesome Pro Hero tier patrons, including the one and only Gilgamesh, Nothing But a Fan, Jason Wilson, King Zeldris, Fididala Beat, Alpha Dio, Anatoly Kazatsky, Angel Cruz, Team Sparky 65, Cricket XP, Rohan Kapoor, Jessica Maloney, Emperor Otaku, Timothy E. Vargas, Jean d'Arc, and Joe Stanton. If you enjoy our videos and you feel that they provide value for you, consider supporting us on Patreon. Even a single dollar will give you access to our patron-exclusive Discord, and your name will appear in our videos along with these legendary people. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.